Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Sports Talk with the Georgian, your number one spot for pregame chit chat. I'm Jannah Bowles.
And I'm Kevin Gregan. This week we're going to talk about the second road trip of the year for the Georgia Southern Eagles against the Western Carolina University Catamounts.
Yes, Kevin, last weekend the Eagles pulled a Samford University upset at Paulson Stadium, winning 35-16. The Samford Bulldogs were undefeated at the time, and they were the number one team in the SoCon, winning all of their SoCon matchups, and they were undefeated.
Yeah.
So they're defeated.
Yeah.
That the Georgia Southern Eagles pulled that upset. So what can we expect?
Well, it shows that the Georgia Southern Eagles may have gotten off to a slow start, but this week they're looking good going into a Catamount game where the Catamounts are 0-3 overall in the SoCon and 1-3 so far in the season. So it's looking good for the Eagles.
Yeah, those Catamounts really have something to show for themselves if they want to move up in the ranks, especially in the SoCon. Alrighty. Well, let's jump into it then. Offensively, what can we expect from Georgia Southern?
Well, Georgia Southern so far this year is ranked second nationally in rushing. They're averaging 393 yards per game, which is pretty good going against the Catamounts, I'd say. Last week, however, they were held to 0-10 on third down conversions, so they're going to have to try to get some better offensive momentum going on. But last year against the Catamounts, UU Wilcox, J.J. Wilcox, and Robert Brown all rushed for over 100 yards against the Catamounts.
Right, and last year, since Wilcox was a running back, that's why his rushing yards went up so high. But this year he's a safety.
Yeah, this year he's playing D.
Right, he's playing defense, so I don't think there's a chance for him to get too many yards unless he makes some interceptions, which he could very well make some, especially against this Catamount offense, who's not really developed. So, okay, well, let's jump into the Catamount offense. They're not really ranked in the SoCon. Well, they are ranked in the SoCon, like number 8, 9, something like that in the SoCon. They're not ranked nationally, so their offense is pretty rocky. They don't really have a solid starting quarterback. They like to switch their quarterbacks in and out very often, and it's kind of not really a good thing that they need to have some type of balance or some type of solidity in their offense, especially with the quarterback, because the quarterback leads the team.
Yeah.
So if they don't have that solid foundation as a quarterback, the team can really go down the drain pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're going to have a hard time getting any momentum going against the Georgia Southern defense, who this year is looking pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, well then speaking of defense, let's get a little bit into the Western Carolina defense.
Okay.
They have a defensive player.
Yeah, they have senior linebacker Rock Williams, who's leading their team defensively. He's averaging about 11 tackles per game, and he's ranked second overall in the SoCon.
Right. So I think the Eagles, they need to watch out for this linebacker.
Yes.
So
the Western Carolina defense does give up a lot of rushing yards per game. They give up 309 rushing yards per game. So it's gonna look for we're gonna look for the Eagles to run all over them, really.
Right, and they've only forced 8 turnovers so far this season, so they're not really too key on getting their hands on the ball and getting to the quarterback.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, then that takes us to the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense, which Coach Monken says is doing an excellent job so far this season. They're playing their positions. They're finishing their assignments. Coach Monken at the press conference really didn't have much to say about his defense. Yeah. They were doing a really, really good job.
And senior Brent Russell is only 1.5 sacks away from breaking the school record for career sacks. So hopefully he can add to his total against Western Carolina.
Right. All right, you guys, that wraps up today's show. But first, we will take a break, and when we come back, we'll deliver this weekend's weather at Western Carolina with Hey Eagle fans, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Anthony Saylor, who has our weekend forecast in Cullowhee, North Carolina. Anthony?
There's actually a cold front that's going to be moving through the area of Western Carolina, which is going to give us some cooler temperatures. So let's take a look at our tailgate forecast. We'll start off our morning with partly cloudy skies and a temperature of 50 degrees. At 10, we'll continue to see partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 58 degrees. In the afternoon, we'll start to see fewer clouds, giving us mostly sunny conditions, and our temperature will be at 61 degrees. And at 2, still expect most of those clouds to be out of the area, with the temperature moving up to 64 degrees. 20% chance for showers are throughout the morning. Now let's take a look at our game forecast. At kickoff, it'll be mostly sunny with the temperature hitting the high for the day at 66 degrees. At halftime, temperatures will start to get cooler, moving down to 64 degrees still with those mostly sunny conditions and a 20% chance for showers. And at the end of the game, temperatures will move into the upper 80s with mostly sunny skies, and the rain chances move up to 30%. So looks like a cooler weather for our Eagles, but should be a nice day.
Okay, so that means our Eagle fans who are traveling to the game will need to bring a jacket.
Probably
Be very wise to bring a jacket. All right, you guys, well, that concludes today's show, Sports Talk with the Georgian. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Georgian Sport for live tweets at the game. And also, after the game, we will have articles up on our website at thegeorgian.com. So make sure you visit those websites for game updates. I'm Jannah for Kevin Gregan.
And I'm Anthony Saylor.
We'll see you next week.